This is Carrah.
And this is KT,
Welcome back to Life and the Party.
your unofficial guide to growing up and having fun. Welcome back, everyone. Hope y'all are having a wonderful Friday because that's today we're recording this. But I guess it's Thursday since it's today you'll be listening to it. But we thought we'd give y'all a little update about our lives as of early May. Carrah, what you been up to?
Well, I visited you in Denver. I went on a Chicago trip and generally just like lots of social stuff. Actually, last night I didn't tell you this. Me, Ryan, Arthur, and Eileen went to this place called Painted Duck. Brooks was supposed to go, but he got in a little
What?
what do we call it? I don't know what I want to call
What
it.
is? I don't. Even, I was gonna say like a fender bender, a lover.
Kind of.
Both.
Kind
at
of
the
a
same
fender
time.
bender with his tiki trailer.
Oh no.
Yeah. So he didn't make it, but he was the one who planned it. So it was a bit of a bummer. But it's a bar that has, I think, like mini bowling, but they also have like a bunch of really old school games, and all the games are free, but bowling costs money.
Okay.
So we played like horseshoes, knuckleball, and toad hole, I think is what
Okay. These aren't real.
no, they are. They're real games, but they're like very low maintenance games. Like knuckleball is like you have like two sides, and it's like a slanted up like wooden thing, and you have like 2 to 4 softballs, and one person's on each side, and you have a bowling pin, and you use the bowling pin to whack the softballs up and around the divider onto your opponent's side. And the goal is to like the game isn't over until the softballs like fall out of the thing. So you just keep like hitting them back, hitting them back, hitting them back.
This is giving 1920s kid with a stick rolling a wheel.
Yes, because toad hole is like you have 4 big coins, and it's like a 2-player thing, and then you have this like wooden box against the wall that has like 1 hole in it, and you toss the coins up, and the goal is to get them in the hole or on the surface. And then it's points, kind of like cornhole. And so you toss the coins. It sounds like less cool than it is, which is maybe why no one described the games to me before we agreed to go. But it was really fun. And also horseshoes. I don't think I've ever played like a proper game of horseshoes. That was actually fun and pretty hard. Okay, what else have I been doing? So I've been doing like this career coaching thing with our friend Chris.
Okay.
He wants to achieve his associate certified coach credential. So in order to get that, he has to reach a certain amount of hours like coaching people. So I volunteered to be one of his athletes. No, I'm just kidding. Career athlete. And it's cool. I didn't really like know what to expect. It's really nice because I can set the cadence, so I can say like I want to meet weekly or every other week or every 3 weeks, and for 20 minutes or 15 minutes or 30 minutes. So I've been doing every 3 weeks and like a 30-minute phone call, and basically it's just like a good way to have a little bit of accountability and just thinking about not just like my career, but like also like just balancing other things that I do. So he'll typically just start the call with like asking what would be most helpful to talk about. So it's more of like he's guiding me to think through things rather than like telling me what to do or like assigning homework and then checking in on it. So it's not one of those like anxiety ridden things where you're like, oh my God, I have this call and I didn't do the thing I said I was going to do last time. Like it's not like that. So today I told him that I wanted to talk about like balancing, like I'm having trouble balancing all the things that I want to do in my life. So like, you know, work, like career aspirational stuff, podcast stuff, social life, like all these things. I'm trying to find time, especially with my new work schedule, because now I'm working like, half the amount of time almost as I was. So just like coming up with a new routine and figuring out where to fit in some of those hours to do like creative stuff, like stuff to do with our podcast. So we talked about that and it was really nice. So I think he's looking for new clients if anyone is interested. Katie, I know I suggested him to you. I feel like you
Yeah,
would
I
really
feel like it
like
was a
it.
while ago.
Yeah.
But I'll look into that for sure. I could think I just completely spaced because that happens with me if I don't write stuff down.
Yeah.
Like jury duty. I think I had jury duty
Oh my
last
god.
week, maybe this week, because I got it moved and I don't remember what date was the new day.
Jury
So
duty isn't important, to be honest. I'm mostly messing around. That's my pessimistic side. I get that it's a civic duty and there should be ethical, intelligent people on jury duty that, you know,
your peers.
we would be great examples of.
Mm-hmm.
So, Katie, you better figure out when it
I'm
is.
trying. I'm doing my best.
You're listening, you're learning,
And I'm growing. I should talk to
hmm
Chris about this.
you're researching.
Time management. Maybe I'll just show up to the court Tuesday. 'Cause I think I said May
Show
6th.
up in a suit and
Outfit.
and with a gavel.
If anyone has comments on jury duty, getting it, let me know.
Okay, well, let's switch gears to you talking about your move because that's a big moment in your life and
Yes.
part of your not New Year's resolutions.
My vibes, my New Year's
Yeah,
vibes.
your New Year's vibes.
Yes. So I was about to say I can show people things, but there's nothing to see. Because this is a 2-bedroom apartment that me and the BF are living in. Still in the same part of like cute part of town, which is nice. Got some cool views.
Don't tell people where you live in
I'm
case
not.
we
I
have
said
stalkers.
same-ish part of town.
Yeah.
So, across the street from a different coffee shop than the other coffee shop I was across
Katie,
the
you're
street
giving
from.
all you're like across the street from this coffee shop
I didn't
right
say
next door
which
to
one,
this sandwich
just
shop.
a different one. If you can find me, I'm gonna call the cops. You want a prize? I'm just kidding.
You're like, you can come inside my house and get a prize.
Yeah, and it's called jail. Um, but it's just a new like step in a more growing direction with my relationship and just like different vibes. Like we're saving a lot of money with this place for both of us, which will be amazing. It's just a nice little spot, and it's 2 bedrooms, so there's a lot of space. And 2 cats will be living here now. I get to live with cats full time, which I think they like me, so it's okay. At least they definitely do. When Daniel's not around, they like me more, and when he's
Yeah.
around, they like him a lot more.
But wait until like now that you're living with them and they're going to be around you more than him, I guarantee you with time they're going to like you more.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
I'm fun, especially and the cats are really sweet. They're like not too like don't touch me. They're very much like you can pick them up and they'll just sit
They're
there.
kind of floppy,
Yeah, they're
right?
floppy and they're very nice. Yeah, they don't like get mad and try to like attack you or anything. Like very, very, I'll say polite cats. So now Daniel's part's got to, he has to get his stuff in here soon. So we're working on that. And that involved me unpacking a bunch of stuff to get a bunch of boxes ready for him to move his stuff in. So it's
Oh,
coming
y'all
along.
recycling all the boxes?
I just have a bunch of bins. I would just fill the bins, take them here, unpack the bins, take the bins back, fill the bins, take the bins back, unpack the bins, and just did that.
Damn.
Lots of bins. The same bins been traveling around. So
That sounds time consuming.
it is time consuming, but you know, I did it. It's done.
That's stressing me out thinking about that kind of moving strategy. How many of them do you have to unpack?
I probably did like 5 at a time, plus a few duffel bag, like a duffel bag of clothes and stuff. So just bring those in,
My God.
move some chairs. I have a bed frame in my car I need to donate, so that's just been there for like a week.
Oh, I'm having horrible flashbacks from our last move. And I'm imagining if we did 5 bins at a time, it would have taken us about 6 months to move, probably.
But yeah, so most all moved in the midst of unpacking everything. So I look forward to it all being ready. So yeah.
Awesome. I'm excited to see how it turns out. And while the process doesn't sound super efficient with the reusing the bins. At least
Daniel's
your
getting
stuff
his own boxes
does
too.
have to be unpacked.
Mm-hmm.
Now, is it going to be put away or is it going to be unpacked and against the wall? Is the other question. See?
I need Daniel's bookcase. So once I get that, I can actually put more stuff away. So
Cool.
moving.
Yay.
I'm not sitting this time, so I'm like way more like moving. We're standing and recording, or at least I am. Carrie, you standing?
I'm sitting.
Nice, nice. So yeah, that's our weeks so far.
Today's episode, we wanted to talk about how to make friends as an adult. And there's a few elements that I think we wanted to cover. So,
Mhm.
things that I was thinking of are like, comparing how we made friends in our 20s versus our 30s as people who are 30 redacted, because that looks pretty different. And then I was thinking about like the big thing that stands out to me for when I have had to make new friends or wanted to make new friends is like when I've moved. But then I started thinking deeper about like, okay, there are obviously like other times in your life when you want or need to make new friends. Maybe like your closer friends are moving away. Maybe you're kind of outgrowing like some of the things that you've been doing and you want to explore like different activities, or you want to start a new hobby, or you want to start working out, or like sometimes you just want like a change of pace and you need some novelty in your life. Are there other like circumstances, Katie, that you can think of that seem common to like need to make new friends? Maybe you ruin your life and
Yeah,
no one wants to be friends with you.
you just have to start from the ground up.
So you got to start all over again. I'm sure a lot of sociopaths do that.
But no, I think that's about right.
And then we want to talk about like, okay, how do you make new friends? Because it's something that I feel like a lot of people talk about being difficult, especially as you get older and get out of your 20s. Um, so maybe first let's like compare our experiences like in our early to mid 20s versus like 30s. Like Katie, what did that look like for you when you were younger versus like what it looks like now in your 30s? Like what are the differences?
I mean, I think the main difference is probably proximity. So like in like mid 20s, I was starting grad school in a new place, so I didn't know anyone going into my grad degree at South Carolina. Then I just get a random message from some girl named Erica. Was like, "Do you need a roommate? Because
Some hoe
I need
named
a roommate."
Erica.
Yeah, I know, because I need a roommate. And my advisor said, "Your advisor, whatever," and that's how they sent that over. And I was just sort of like, I don't know. The last time I did this, it was weird, and I didn't know them, so I was like, "Oh, whatever. I'm sure it's fine." And that was great. And like me and Erica became really good friends after like living together for like 2 years, and then because of our major was very
Small?
like small, but like everyone liked to hang out. So we
Yeah.
all would go get happy hours after work every week. There would always be like parties for people's birthdays. So it was like really easy to like build that group.
It was just like there. You were already
Yeah.
in it. You didn't
Yeah. It
really
was kind
have
of
to
like
build it.
set up for you.
Yeah.
It was like pretty much like, oh, you're all in the same building, you take classes together. It's kind of like that school type. So when I left and moved back to Charleston, I was also like, oh, cool. I like know people here. Carrah's here. But I still didn't really know Arthur as much. I think I met him once. All of your friend group that you had at that time. I was like, oh, cool. And I get to like meet some new people through you and other coworkers and stuff like that. So a lot of it for me when I was younger was just like proximity and like, oh, I already have these relationships. It's easy to jump in and grow them with people who I know and like exposure and different going out scenarios. Just something that was always fun happening, like it was really easy to do, I guess.
And it was maybe like familiarity, like you're familiar in like a school environment
Mm-hmm.
and you're familiar in like your hometown. And
Mm-hmm.
there's lots of people who you already kind of know or
Mm-hmm.
you can meet through your other friends.
Oh yeah, it was like really easy just to like slowly meet new people, find some new friends. Like we met Jade through was it a Craigslist ad for our apartment.
Yeah.
Like that
Yeah.
was probably a more random one than
Hmm.
anything, but because of like already knowing and having a good solid base there, it was a lot easier to branch out because you already had a group. It's like, okay, cool, it's fine.
Mhm.
It's easy to find new people. And when I moved to Denver, it didn't really have that anymore. Like, you didn't have the familiarity of the location. But what helped me here is that I have friends who live in Denver from college. So Damien and Jackson, Melissa and her boyfriend moved out here. Like, there were people I knew here that I was like, okay, cool. I'm not starting from nothing. It's not like I don't know anyone. Like, I can at least hang out with them when we want to go do stuff. It's not, not as scary. And so he met some other friends through their friends and things like that. And that's how this friend group grew out here. But I have made a point to, I started playing volleyball. So I'm like friends with some of the people on my volleyball team. So that's a separate thing entirely, which was kind of very hard to start. But I was like, I need to play a sport. It's the best way I work out. Let's go play volleyball. And we go to people's houses for like a little book swap or a wine night or something like that and just chit
Mhm.
chat and grab drinks after. So, like, I don't know if you're finding like your most closest, bestest friend ever, but it's just that companionship and a fun activity to keep you
And
doing
those
something.
like group settings.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So, like, that's sort of like the tradition from like location familiarity, proximity to a little bit of that, but more like finding people who support the lifestyle I want to live now, I guess.
Mhm.
Like, hobbies were at the same point of life with our friends who are like married versus like our single life when we were just bouncing around,
Mhm.
so it's like a different growth, but also finding people who like to do the same things that I like to do to keep me doing those things, which I should do more of, but what about you, Garrett?
Yeah, I feel like when you're younger, I think more people are open to like new experiences and new friends and hanging out and talking and like it's not necessarily always deep. Like I think I've always
Mhm.
had my close friendships that were deep, but I feel like a lot of the friendships in my like 20s were also just like for pure like social or like going out or like I did lots of like organizing of events and stuff for Clemson and things like that. So it was easy, like because they weren't all so deep. And so it was just like casual and everyone who we hung around, like our priorities were like socializing. But I
Yes.
think like the difference as you get older is like people either like move away or maybe people go down a path that like you're no longer aligned with and you kind of have to say goodbye to that friendship or people settle down and get married and have kids and like it's difficult to maintain the same relationship that you had before.
Mm-hmm.
So like there's some adjustment there and some people are great about like still putting an effort in friendships with people who are married and have kids and vice versa, the people who are married and have kids with their friends. Some people aren't so good at it or sometimes like it's going to ebb and flow.
Mm-hmm.
But I think like the biggest difference for me in my 30s and not just like trying to compare it to like when I was in my hometown versus like moved away, but I'm trying to really like gather my thoughts around like the age and like what differences there are. And I feel like now I'm much more intentional with
Mm-hmm.
who I want to spend my time around. Whereas before, like if I would get invited to something, I would just probably say
Yeah,
yes
you
because
probably
it was
yeah.
something to do.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, it could be like a good story. And like, I'm still about having a good story sometimes. But like, if I don't feel good around somebody, I'm like, no. Like, so now I'm just like, I'm looking for qualities in people and I'm like holding new friends to a higher standard.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I want to be around people who like have their shit together, but also are fun and like are witty and like have similar values as me and can make me laugh and like like those are
Mm-hmm.
the kinds of people I want to be around. And before I would just like hang around people and then like not think much about it.
Yeah.
um and maybe it's just because like the stakes are higher the older you get, and then also like your energy is just so much more precious like as you get older and you're like I don't really want to waste my time around people that like I don't like spending my time around.
Mm-hmm.
um And then there's like another layer that I feel like people don't talk about enough of
Ooh.
like making friends as a married couple. For me in particular, like it was weird. Like
Mhm.
because Ryan and I moved like in Charleston, like we had already known people, but when we moved to DC, that was like my first time like someone knowing me as being with Ryan always.
Mhm.
Like whereas before that, all my friends knew me before Ryan.
Yeah.
But then when I moved, it was like, oh, people are only going to know me as being in this relationship,
Mhm.
which is so weird to think about. And then it's like, if we want to make friends with a couple, we both have to like both of the people in the relationship. And also, like, there was this other layer of I was like, it feels like we're swingers. Like when you try to introduce yourself to another couple, it feels so uncomfortable to me. Like I'm like, I don't want these people to like think we're weird. Like, not that
We're into
swinging's
that.
weird if that's your thing, but I don't want people to think that. But sometimes it can feel so weird as a couple. You're like, oh yeah, cool. Like, can we get your number? We should all like hang out sometime. Like, it's like
So you're
that
like,
was
we're
like,
all gonna hook up now.
yeah, yeah. For me,
And
that felt like a big adjustment. And also like then we kind of figured out like a little bit of a flow to it. And also I was like, I am like probably the only person thinking this. Like no one thinks that. Um, but like Ryan's pretty good at like opening. So he's good at like starting conversations with people and like chatting and doing the small talk. And I'm good at like closing, like, oh, we should get your number, and then I'll follow up with somebody.
Mhm.
So like that's something else. And also like I have never been a fan of like couples, like as a couple hanging out with couples.
Just solo couple on couple action.
I don't know why. I don't like it.
Because you think it's gonna be a swinging session.
I don't I
I'm just
just
kidding.
like I don't know, like I have friends who are couples and I love them and like they're great. Like if I'm friends with you and you're a couple, it's cuz I like you. But like there are lots of couples that I meet and like Ryan might like one of the people and I'm like I don't like the other person. Like I can't hang out with them. I'm not doing it.
Mhm.
And like I don't know, it just to me like oftentimes can be very boring. Like I have so much fun just hanging out with people who I like. I feel like sometimes like I don't know, couple stuff for me is just boring. I don't it going to like a couples dinner with a bunch of couple that sounds like torture for me. I don't know why.
It just sounds so formal and like
It sounds boring. Like what are you going to talk about?
finances and
No, I want to hear about like drama and like girl talk and like that
mhm.
kind of thing. I don't know. I feel I also like and maybe it's me being just like judgmental, but I think people in relationships like can be really freaking boring. Like people who like totally abandon their personality or like don't do anything fun anymore. I
Mhm.
can't relate to you.
Mhm.
I just can't.
Yeah. You're right. It's about spending time with people who are fun.
Yeah.
Because what else? You could do so many other things, you
Yeah.
know? Like, what about this is good or enjoyable or, you know?
Yeah. Also, I just feel like I have such cool, fun, interesting friends and I'm like I would rather hang out with them than like
Mhm.
try to make a friendship with some random couple.
Have you ever had to have a couple breakup that you were friends with and it was like, oh, we actually don't really get along that much or
Oh,
something?
Ryan and I have definitely hung out with a couple where I did not like the girl. And I tried hanging out like a couple times and then I was like, if you want to be friends with the guy, you can do it. I was like, I'm not doing it anymore. We like hung out with them. I'm not going to give any more details, but we hung out with them one time and she did not look at me for probably about an hour and a half. Every time I was sitting right next to her, every time she was talking, she would look at her husband or she would look at Ryan. It was like I didn't exist. It was so weird. And I was like, I am not doing this again. I don't know what the deal is here, but like this is the most uncomfortable thing I've ever done.
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. I wouldn't want to deal with that
Yeah.
either.
I just did not vibe with her. And I, mm-mm.
And it's okay to
Um,
not vibe with people. That's
yeah,
a thing. There's gonna be so many people you meet with that you're like you don't vibe with, or people that are just like, oh, you're cool, but like it's not really there to like really hang out, or really try to
yeah,
like, hey, let's go grab coffee together,
yeah,
and like get deeper with it. It
yeah,
depends on like what you want out of the friendship too. Like I think that's a
yeah,
big part of like what type of friendship do you want, and that will allow you to sort of like make decisions on who you can allow to fill that space or be there for you in that way, and you be there for them in that way too.
yeah. It's like looking for someone to date. Like I think you have to know what kind of friendship you want, like before you go out like looking
Mm-hmm.
for someone. I think maybe we can talk a little bit about like how we have made new friends, like
Sure.
what has worked. Maybe we could also talk about like what hasn't worked. And one example is like assuming, I think like naively, like when we would meet couples, they're like, oh yeah, we can be friends with couples. And then I tried it. I was like, no, I was like, I'll just go back to making my own friends. um, but yeah, so I think that is a good lesson though. Like
Mhm.
if you do not have to hang out with like you and your partner do not have to like the same people in a relationship or the same people in general, as long as they're not like bad people.
Yeah,
Like,
or rude to your partner or
yeah,
something like that, where it's like
you don't have
antagonizing
to
to
want
be
to hang
around.
out with them.
Yeah. Or you
So,
just see them at like little at parties or something, like something where like it's not just you two together.
yeah.
It's but again, you have to obviously like them and everything.
Yeah.
I would say what hasn't worked.
Or what is something that like you learned maybe in the process of like trying to make new friends? Did you learn anything?
I think I learned that sometimes I give a lot of people chances because I'm very like chill when it comes to meeting people. I think I'm pretty personable. Like it's really easy to once I start talking to people. But there's one friend I made here, and the vibes were just off with whenever we would all hang out together due to some I think stuff going on with them.
Mm-hmm.
And it just took so long for us to be like, are we actually friends with this person? Like, is it actually fun to be around them? It took a while to figure that out.
Yeah.
And it was like, man, maybe if we just like noticed more or like thought about it more. But I was always super like casual with it. So to me, it wasn't as like big of a deal. But of course, I wasn't the one dealing with some of the issues that were being brought up. So it was more like, oh, it's not me, it's one of my other friends too. And it's
Mm-hmm.
like, then it's like, oh, well, actually, yeah, not
Yeah.
worth it. Not worth it.
I think that can happen in groups of people because like
Mhm.
a group is formed and then you're kind of only paying attention to the people who you really like, right? Especially that's
Mhm.
all you have to do. You can't possibly pay attention to everybody all the time.
Yeah.
And then only some people might be experiencing some negative things. And then it's like, oh, yeah, like we don't like this person.
So I guess you can't have too high. I won't say too high of expectations, but like have high expectations, but realize what those expectations are. Again, finding what the friendship is that
Mhm.
you want.
Yeah. I had a good experience with Bumble BFF. I hear lots of
Cool.
people like say things.
I haven't used it, so I don't have any thoughts yet.
I've heard about people using it and meeting some like very interesting characters. And then I've heard about people saying like they don't want to use it because they think it's weird or whatever. I used it when I was in DC because when I moved there, I had like a handful of friends there, but I had only a couple girlfriends and I wanted like more girlfriends. And also people in DC like are always busy. So I like moved there in the first 6 months. I was like, okay, no one's hanging out, like everyone's out of town. I was feeling like really down and I realized I was like, oh, it's because like we had like a nice group of girls that we were friends with in Charleston. And I honestly have never really been without a group of girls since then. Well, I guess because college it was like me, you, and Catherine was like our main group. So yeah, so I moved to DC and I didn't really have like a core group of girlfriends. And so I got on Bumble BFF and I was like so nervous.
It is
Like
like a date.
but I never felt nervous on dating apps, like, at all. Like, I heard people talk about, like, it giving them anxiety. I was like, "I don't care." Like, I'd say whatever to people. I would reject people. Like, I didn't care as much, but I think because, like, it was, like, women, I was like, "Oh my
Mhm.
god, I don't wanna, like,
Mhm.
hurt anyone's
I know,
feelings."
I
I was like
care about them so much more than just a dude who's on
"I
the
don't
app.
wanna lead any girls on to think that I would be friends with them." And so, like, I was so particular, and I was like also, like, I didn't wanna spend a lot of time on the app because I really didn't have that much time, and so I, like, didn't wanna message a bunch of girls and then, like, leave them hanging.
Mhm.
So, I talked to, like, a few girls, maybe tried making plans a couple times, and then made plans with this girl, and we met up for, like, margaritas. Oh my god, watermelon margaritas, they were so good.
Oh, that sounds delicious.
I can taste them right now. And then it was so much fun. It's so funny, like, meeting it's like a blind date, like, but meeting a woman, like, when you're, like, 30, and then you're like, "Okay, I kinda have to catch you up on my life." And so, like, yeah, we're just, like, catching each other up on, like, our entire lives and, like, all of our past relationships and our current situation. And like, women can just, like, talk for so long, which is, like, nice. Like, you can just, like
Mhm.
you're not sitting there like, "So what do we do now?"
You're
Like,
bored. It's always an
yeah, you
interesting conversation. It's
cannot be
moving.
bored.
Yeah.
And then we went to, like I can't remember the name, some other place, this was in DC. Then we went to, like, this little casual bar, and then we went to, like, a rooftop bar, and then Ryan picked us up and took her home and then took us home, obviously. And I didn't meet anyone else. That girl became, like, one of my good friends, Kay. And I was like, "I don't really need to, like, get on here." Like, it's felt very overwhelming to try to make multiple female friendships. Like, I just
Mhm. It's a lot of
'cause
work. It is a lot of work.
you want to put effort and time and, like, care into those, and I was like, "I'm not gonna just, like, get a roster of, like, women to, like, get happy hours
Oh,
with."
you can come
Like
send it to all 20 of them being like, "Who's free?"
yeah. So,
Whoever responds first wins.
I had a really good experience, and I wasn't like oh, another thing that I really liked about that is I had been wanting to, like, get into some regular workout routine for a while, and I was like, "I don't really know what I wanna do," and Pilates always sounded interesting to me because like, I didn't want anything, like, super intense. I want to, like, feel healthier, stronger, and, like, be toned. That was what I was looking for.
Mhm.
And so we would like go to Pilates together and we would get coffee and then like we'd do that during the week and then we'd like maybe do like a monthly or every other month like going out and getting drinks. And it was so much fun. So it was just like nice to find a new friend to like also kind of kickstart a new habit in my life. And yeah, and so like now I've been doing Pilates for like a year and a half. And maybe Kay gets a little bit of credit for that because maybe if I didn't meet her, maybe I would have met some other girl who
It got you into, like, weightlifting or something.
yeah,
Carrie's over
maybe
here.
maybe I doubt it, but maybe. Um but
No, I'm
yeah,
glad that worked out for you. It's something I've, like, thought about, but I never did, just not for any, like, "Oh, I don't think it'll work," or any, like, real thoughtful reason. I was just, like, distracted by something else and did something else
yeah,
instead. So, maybe now that I'm with my partner here, I'll be like, "Oh, well, maybe I need to, like, have more, like, girlies to do stuff with just, like, after work one day."
yeah.
Like, I'm open to meeting some new people. That
You
sounds
could
weird.
find someone because you say you want to like do your hobbies or whatever. You could
Mhm.
find someone who talks about that hobby in their about section or put it in your about section
Mhm.
and like that could be a great way to like start doing the things you say you wanna do, but also, like,
Mhm.
meet somebody who also likes those things.
Oh, yeah, any type of, like, thing that will help you be accountable in a way. I'm sure
Mhm.
meeting Kay was like, "Okay, great, now we're definitely going to Pilates because I get to hang out with Kay and have coffee afterwards." Like, when I would did a bar with Steph, we would go every she had so
Yeah.
many free passes, so it was so fun, but we would
You're,
go to the
like,
bar.
looking for a free class pass.
No, not intentionally, but it just kind of happened that way. I think we were
Looking
both
for rides
unavailable.
to yoga.
And then you have to pick me up. So, that was a nice thing to do, like, if not weekly, I think we did maybe weekly at that time, but, it'd be nice to get back on that schedule because I do wanna work out more. Um, but volleyball seems to work pretty well for me, like, it's very casual, but, like, that's okay.
Mhm.
They're also, like a lot of the girls on my team are, like, 27. So,
Yeah.
it's a little bit different with, like, people living their lives and certain things like that. It doesn't quite mesh I'm not going out 24/7, I'm not, it just feels a little bit different, you know?
You yeah, you I think you need different like categories of friends, like
Mhm.
best friend, close friend, casual friends, like people you do sports
Mhm.
with, people you go get food with, people you work out with, like
Mhm. Plus, you have all my long distance friends. Like a
mhm,
lot of my friends still like aren't here, so I spend time like talking to them and doing
mhm.
things like this. So like that takes up my time too, and I love those relationships so much that they're a high value to me. I already spend time. I want to spend a lot of my time doing that too, you know?
I feel like I've met really good friends through like my friends' friends. So
Mhm.
like in DC, I met Jackie through Kaysen. They were like roommates and they were in the Peace Corps together. And it took time for me to like for our schedules to line up to get to hang out. And then we would start hanging out, you know, without him. And then like we developed our own friendships. Like love
Mhm.
her.
Sorry, Kason, you're done.
Hi, Kaysen. Um, and then I'm through Kate, also through Kaysen. Actually, maybe I should just like, maybe I
It's
owe
all
him my
related.
life. Also met some of my new friends here in Atlanta through him, like Benny. And then through
Mhm.
Benny, I've met Shan and Lauren and Jackson. I'm giving them a little shout out.
Ooh.
Um, they're fans of the pod. I think you just have to be resourceful. There's lots
Mhm.
of ways to meet new people. You just have to do
Just
it.
take a jump, you know?
Take a leap, y'all.
Fill the cup.
I definitely have like a high need for
A really big
socializing.
fucking cup.
Yeah, I have a huge cup.
Yeah.
Some would call it a diva cup, but it
That's a
I
pretty
like
small cup, actually.
if what'd you say?
Said diva cups are pretty small, actually.
I know
Aren't
that's the joke.
uh,
If I like, I cannot wait until the weekend to socialize. Like, if I go, sometimes I guess maybe if I'm really tired or busy, but like, if I am not socializing until Friday, I am like in a bad mood or feeling depressed. So, like, I have to have and make plans during the week at least once or twice. Not everyone is like that.
it's also a great way to get out of what's holding you back down at work, like all these other things that happen during the week. Like, you have a bad day,
Yeah.
don't just sit at home, go get a drink with someone. It really like puts into perspective certain things when you're like you take yourself out of where that's happening and go somewhere else and do something else.
But I had one more like little piece of wisdom slash like a
Advice.
little, yeah, a little
Yeah,
tip.
little tippy
Um,
tip.
Ryan's friend Sowers actually told us this when we moved to DC, but I thought it was like very useful and it seems kind of common sense, but I feel like you have to like actively think about it. But
Sometimes common sense isn't the most common sense until your brain's like, oh my god.
exactly. But he's like, when you move to a new place, now you guys are in a new place, like when you see your neighbors, and this can apply to like moving to a new house, taking a class, go like just going to a workout class, like anything where you're around a new group of people, like immediately start talking to people. Like when you see
Mhm.
people, like introduce yourself, ask what their name is, like ask how they're doing. Because if you don't do that in the beginning, then you've lived somewhere for like 6 or 7 months and now you've kind of set the bar for like you just don't say hi to anybody, you don't know
Mhm.
your neighbors, like, and then that's kind of like miserable.
Mhm. Yeah.
So I think like a good piece of advice is to just like rip the band-aid off, like when you're in a setting with a lot of people, just like take a couple
Mhm.
minutes to put in some effort and like introduce yourself and talk to people.
Yeah. I want to say like the first place I moved to here, like the first apartment, I didn't see like anybody in the hallways. It was very big. But yeah, I definitely fall into the hi. I don't really go into further.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm new and my name is Katie. I live in this one and what's your name? And like actually have a conversation
Yeah.
too. Because half the time it's people also walking dogs out the door and I'm like, hi. And then I just we walk
Yeah,
away.
that's why yeah, it was really easy for us to make friends in DC because we made a bunch of our like apartment friends from our dogs. So like
Mm-hmm.
having like a commonality. So like even just having like a question to ask, like
Mm-hmm.
you could just say, "Hey, like I'm new here, like wanted to introduce myself. I'm Katie. What's your
Mm-hmm.
name?" And then like how long have you been living here?
Yeah.
Like that's something you can ask everybody once you start talking. Does your building have like events, resident
I
events or
don't think
anything?
so, but my building does have a pool, which does lead
Oh,
to people being
perfect.
around. I always chit chat with people at the pool. I did at my last place too. Nothing crazy, but like sometimes just like, oh hey, what's
Hey, can I use your towel?
oh hey, can I use your float and your towel? I forgot all my stuff.
Can you put sunscreen on me?
Honestly,
Can I
yeah,
put sunscreen on you?
that's the question. Do you want me to put sunscreen on you, girl?
That's a perfect opening line.
But you still have to put your foot out there. You won't meet any friends if you don't try to meet any
Is
friends.
it put your foot out there?
Yeah, put your foot out
That's
there.
the saying?
Is it?
Is it put your foot out there?
Gotta put your foot out there. I guess not. Is that a thing?
I know there's a saying put something out there. Put yourself out there, Katie, not your foot. But
Maybe I'm thinking of like walking through a door or something. Gotta put your
did
foot
you
out it.
Google it? Put your foot down.
I want let's do a poll. I kind of want to do a poll and see if anyone thinks it's a saying or not.
Put
Because
your
I
foot
don't
out there. Get comfortable. Dip your toe in the water. Dip your toes
yeah.
in the water.
It's just an aberration of dip your toe in the water. Or take a chance. Put your foot out there. But I think we are going to jump into some what are they called? Deep cards? Some big thoughts?
Yeah. Deeper deep ice act.
Yes. To learn more about each other and big thoughts.
Do you want deep or deeper?
Let's do deeper.
No, deeper.
No, the deepest.
What amount of money would you need to have in order to consider yourself rich?
Rich? Well, let's define rich here. Rich to me would be not having to work and being able to live like a good life. I'm trying to think of like if it's in the bank
Do,
and you're
do,
invested. Shut up, shut up.
do,
I'm
do.
gonna say total. I don't want to sound weird. $10 million just to like not work and be able to do stuff and like take people on trips and do fun things, but still be able to like live off of interest. I guess would define rich.
Okay.
What about you?
I feel like to me, rich is like not that much money. Like, rich is like, I feel like I am rich. And I'm not
Mm.
saying that like because I think I or we have a lot of money. To me, rich is like you can pay your bills. You're not stressed about paying your bills. If I wasn't working for 6 months, we would be okay and still be able to eat and pay our bills. To
Mm-hmm.
me, that is rich. Like, so wealthy to me feels like more than rich. But
Mm-hmm.
like, rich to me is like not stressing about getting through life. Like, if you
Yeah.
can go through life without worrying about not having a roof over your head or being able to wear clothes or like have a car, you can
Mm-hmm.
have all of those things and you're not worried about them being taken away from you. I think that's rich. So I feel like I
Mm-hmm.
am. And
Aw,
I
that's a
don't
way for
know
answer.
and I don't know what amount of money that is because it
Mm-hmm.
would depend on like where you live and like what things you need. But I think like food, shelter, clothing, car, like not having
Yeah,
to worry to me feels rich.
and be able to still do be happy and do those
Yeah.
things. We want to be able to do the things that we like to do without having to worry about money. I think that's the big thing is like it's you can always be able to pay everything you need to pay and still like live your life and do things that you want to do.
Yeah, like a life that would be like wealthy for me or like if I was like had a lot more money, things that I would do with that money would be like take my friends on vacations.
Yeah,
That
exactly.
Oh my God. Like that is all I would do. If I had like an unlimited amount of money, I would be like, I'm getting a house in this place. I'll buy everyone's flights, taking care of everyone's food. Like, I don't
Mm-hmm.
know why people who like are actually like super wealthy don't do things like that for the people in their life on like a regular basis. I'm like, that is like the most fun.
Like there's definitely people who like bring their family and friends with them when they get wealth, you know?
Like
It's not
celebrities.
super
I've seen
common. Yeah, it's
celebrities do
celebrities,
that.
but I think just like people who are like default rich maybe don't actually like care for people in that way. I don't know. Maybe there's like a personality shift once you hit $1 billion or something.
Well, I think something does happen with like empathy. Like once you have so much money, and if you are focused on just like acquiring more, well, who are
Mhm.
you trying to acquire more money for? You. Okay, Katie, are you ready for this one?
No. Yes.
Are you scared?
Am I gonna cry?
Yeah. No.
Okay.
Is there anything you want to do more consistently?
Oh yeah, workout. That's probably my main one that I want to focus on now. Walking, making sure I go on my walks every day, which I don't do sometimes.
What would help you walk every day?
Someone making sure I walk every day.
Why
Like so
don't
I just
we
build the habit of doing it.
we could do an accountability thing. Anytime I take Kai on a walk, I could just text you a picture or something.
Perfect. I can do the same whenever I go on a walk. So it's really nice. Like this might sound dorky, but
You're
every once in a
not a
while,
dork.
shut up, shut up. But I play Pokemon Go, and like that's really good sometimes when there's things going on to go on walks because it's makes you go outside to do certain things and get points for walking
I
and stuff.
agree, but you're not like living in the moment. You're
Oh yeah,
like,
no, I don't. I often like play for a little bit, then I'll just put my phone away just because I'm
yeah,
already out. So that's my main one probably is being consistent with activity. What about you?
I like that. I like that. Work on this podcast.
That's a good one too.
Not to get too meta, but um yeah, I want to work on the podcast more consistently.
Consistently.
It's just hard to like build this habit when you already have like a full life.
So, fans, friends, what do you want to do more consistently in your life? Leave a comment.
Yeah. Leave a comment, DM us, call us, and we'll talk to you about it. Describe something one of your friends taught you.
Okay.
All I can think of are like really bad experiences, like people I'm not friends with anymore.
I
Or not,
mean,
that's not all I can think of. That's what like first comes to mind.
like a lesson to be like a lesson learned.
Yeah.
My thing was like, has someone taught me to like make a martini, like a physical, like a physical thing, like a skill.
I'm sure all of my friends have taught me something. I'm trying to think of what comes to mind.
As for both of us.
Arthur taught me that human beings actually don't need to drink water to survive.
Huh. What?
He doesn't drink water.
I mean, water is in a lot of things, so like I understand what he's saying, but
He didn't say it. That's just how
orange
he
juice
lived.
has water in it. So, like it's made with water, coffee's made with water. So he is getting water. He's just not drinking water.
He doesn't drink coffee. Wow, do
He
you
drinks
know him at all?
he drinks the kombucha. It's got water in it, isn't it? I found out, what I found out? Kombucha is fermented sweet tea. I didn't know
Really?
that. Yeah. I
Sweet
actually Googled it the
tea.
other day. Yeah.
I don't believe
Google it.
that.
Google it.
Ew, that is so weird.
I'm right? Isn't it weird? What is something that my friends taught me? Okay, I can say something about Arthur. Arthur's good at teaching salsa because he likes to dance sometimes.
Oh, he taught you salsa?
A little bit. Well, like I knew something, but he would do it with me sometimes.
Stand back and do a move so we can see you.
No, I just know the steps. It's like dun 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 dun, kind of, and then you like move around with those steps a little bit. Hold on, can you see my feet? Ooh.
Dun, 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 dun,
It's been a
dun.
minute. I've been able to dance salsa in a while.
Katie, that was great.
And then Arthur would get mad because I would try to lead, and then I would be like, "Oops."
You'd be like, well, I'm a leader.
Well, I am a leader.
Natural born.
That was always fun. Just some little dance steps. So that was cute.
Oh, that is cute.
You're welcome, Arthur.
Thanks for listening to episode 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16.
In those. We're in the teens.
Yeah. Between 10 and 20. All about making new friends. We hope you learned something. We
maybe
hope
make a new friend.
Yeah, maybe you can finally make a new freaking friend. Get a life.
Get some friends, people.
Yeah, get a life.
I mean, I do too. Whoa.
Don't replace us, though.
Yeah.
Please. We're begging.
Please don't. Yes, we're your ear friends. That sounds weird.
Also, if you're interested in dabbling in being coached by our friend, send us a DM.
Mm-hmm.
Once we get some more details, we'll I told him that we could do like a little social media post or something.
That would be amazing.
And yeah, Katie, do you want to tell people where to follow us?
All right. So if you want to give us a follow, which you should, like and subscribe, you can follow us at Life in the Party Pod on Instagram and TikTok, and Life in the Party on YouTube, where we post all of our episodes so you can see our lovely faces and our cool hats. So thank y'all so much. Hope you have a great rest of your day.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.